Hello everyone, we've got some big news this week with Xbox having a big shake-up, Sarah Bond out, Phil Spencer retiring. Let's discuss what's next for Xbox. We also got Valve getting sued again, when our Valve not getting sued. And we've also got Anthropic with a dispute with the US government. So let's discuss. Okay, first of all, we have to get into the heavy hitter news with Xbox big shake-up. Phil Spencer retiring, Sarah Bond out, and Asher Sharma named new Xbox boss. So first of all, Phil Spencer had been at Microsoft since an intern since 1988. He's been there for quite a while, and he's been at Xbox since 2001, since the first console launch. But as time has gone on and on, it's been sought out that Sarah Bond would be replacing Phil Spencer as the Xbox CEO when he decided to retire. Last Monday, the 23rd of February, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella saying in an email, "I want to thank Phil for his extraordinary leadership and partnership. Over 30 years at Microsoft, and including 12 years leading gaming. He's probably had a big impact on my life, Phil Spencer. Xbox was everything to me as a kid, so I do have to thank him for that. Although Xbox is not in the greatest place at the moment, with all Game Pass price hikes, the new Xbox is not even selling. I've just got to say thank you for the 360. They were some really good memories. I've really enjoyed spending countless hours on the 360 with my friends, and that was always some of the weirdest memories I achieved on Xbox. Okay, so just getting that thanks out of the way. Asher Sharma is stepping in as the role of the CEO, and this has got a lot of backlash due to her being the core AI executive. So people are complaining about AI, especially with Microsoft. Microslop is what people also call it. So they're like, oh, they're just going to bring AI into gaming. In her first email in the role, she wrote, "My job is simple, understand what makes this work and protect it. That starts with 3 commitments. First, great games. Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Innovative gameplay and create excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises and back bold new ideas. We will take risks, we will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value, grounded in what our players care about the most." She also did say, as monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Now that all sounds like really good. We don't want AI slop in video games especially. They're obviously going to say that. They're not going to say our AI produces slop, are they? They're going to want to say, oh, it's not going to be slop because our AI produces really good, high quality assets, games, codes that we can use. So because it's not AI slop, they're gonna say, oh, we can use it then. So she's obviously gonna say those words. I don't know if it's exciting times for Xbox. Definitely intriguing. I want to see what they do and how they go from here. I also saw a report on Games Radar that Xbox will be sunsetted under new CEO. There's 2 directions. I can see them focus more on high quality games, pushing that even more. All her words are honest. She wants to create good games, invest into Xbox. But I could also say this being the end of Xbox. You can game on anything nowadays. That's just what we're gonna push. Cloud gaming. You can even game on your fridge nowadays with it, and that's classified as an Xbox. You could also see that Phil Spencer has saved Satya Nadella from sunsetting Xbox in the past. If Satya Nadella wants to do it this time, is anyone going to stop him? If Xbox does get sunsetted, I don't think this is good for gaming at all. Sony can do what they want. Competition breeds innovation, so Sony can just dictate the market, especially in the console market. I mean, Nintendo aren't really competition Sony just because they push different markets. Yeah, Sony can just charge what they want, especially for their hardwares. There's no other consoles competing. They'll keep with the Game Pass, but I feel like their games won't come to Game Pass day one. I feel like the main reason to not buy Xbox games is on Game Pass day one. Why do I get paid for this game? Especially with High on Life 2. I'm not going to pay £50 for this game if it's on Game Pass already. I'm just going to complete the game and then I don't even need to pay for it basically because I already had Game Pass. So Xbox needs to understand what they're going for and just stick with it. It was surprising that Sarah Bond also did leave. I have a feeling it's just due to how Phil Spencer was given the option, you were going to be fired but we'll let you retire, and she probably left out of protest. But there was always the speculation that she would be the person to replace Phil Spencer, so that is definitely surprising. And not just Xbox, I feel like Microsoft as a whole, or just Microsoft don't really know what they're doing at the moment, especially in the AI scene. They're trying too much. Google are way ahead, other companies as well know what they're doing, but I feel like Microsoft are currently pictured on the scope, and that's crazy saying from one of the heavy hitters. You see with Windows, Linux has been more and more popular, so we'll have to see what Microsoft actually does now. Next! another update on a franchise I really care about, and that's Assassin's Creed, with them having a new leadership team. With a trio of experts in the series are going to be guiding the Assassin's Creed into the next chapter. Martin Schilling appointed head of the brand. He previously worked as producer and senior producer on many titles, Revelations, Black Flag, Origins, and Valhalla. And to be honest, they're some of my favourite ones, especially Black Flag, Origins, and Valhalla. I've played countless hours into those games. Sorry for my pronunciation as well, as I'm not the best when it comes to names. Gene Goodson is appointed head of content. He worked on Black Flag Origins as well. And Francis De Billy becomes head of production excellence. He also worked on AC Origins and Valhalla. So you definitely see the scope that they're going for. They all worked on the same game, so they're going to have the same ideas, and I believe that is definitely good. I mean, it can be good to get different ideas, but we're going to be pushing in the same direction. I have a feeling we're not going to really see the new direction for quite a while. Like Mark Alexius Cotier was vice president. He was a big part of Assassin's Creed, and he's recently suing Ubisoft for wrongful termination. I believe his inspiration is going to be in the new Assassin's Creed games like Hexay, Black Flag Resynced. I believe that's going to be mainly his ideas. I'm not really going to see what's new for Assassin's Creed until probably after Hexay, and we'll see how Assassin's Creed turns into. Getting people experience with the franchise from some of the heavy hitters. That also could be a bad thing. Are we going to just get the same ideas from those games? Maybe Assassin's Creed needs something new, but I feel like many people want it to go to its roots. We'll just have to see how Assassin's Creed develops. I'm a bit optimistic now, especially with Assassin's Creed. Maybe not Ubisoft as a whole. Next. Valve again sued again, but it's not because of Steam this time. The state of New York is suing Valve for promoting illegal gambling with its loot boxes. The debate or not whether loot boxes are gambling is pretty heated. Attorney General James argues that allowing Steam users to connect their accounts to websites that allow for real-world cash sales for virtual items is one step too far, and that takes practice into gambling territory. He wishes to permanently stop Valve from promoting gambling features in its games, disgorge all ill-gotten gains, and pay fines for violating New York's laws. If New York wins, it would be a very different world of loot box changes. We have seen games in the past, especially like Rocket League with the whole key system change. I believe EA are also in a scandal with their FIFA pack system. Personally, do you see this as gambling? I feel like gambling definitely nowadays is in a grey zone. Before it was probably black and white on if it's gambling or not, but now I would definitely see, like, I recently saw someone post about a bet on Instagram saying, is Donald Trump going to say America or American? I'm like, what? Why are we betting on this? Surely this is so easy to rig as well. If anyone just close to him just tells them, oh, there's a bet on it. But hey, I don't know, man, what the world has come to. Personally, I'm quite against gambling. I'm guilty of spending on like loot boxes, and especially FIFA packs. I don't know if I would classify it as gambling. You definitely paying for the chance of getting a high rare item. I personally never sold the item, and I've always gone with it with not actually making real world money. I guess if there's an option to make real world money from it, it is classified as gambling. So I don't know what to make of this. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on how this lawsuit develops. And I believe this could put in better regulations for gaming. I definitely think there needs to be more regulations, especially with gambling in games. Definitely gambling as a whole. I believe it's so easy to place a bet nowadays, especially to get underage people to do it. It can be quite addictive. They make so much money, and there's no incentive to really have those regulations in it. So I definitely want to see some safety regulations put into the gambling. Next. Wouldn't be a gaming and tech news video without some AI news. But this time, the US is threatening Anthropic with deadline in dispute on AI safeguards, with US's Secretary of Defense vowed to remove Anthropic from its agency supply chain if the companies decline to allow AI technology to be used across military applications. So the US wants the ability for AI tools to make final military targeting decisions without human intervention, and for mass domestic surveillance. What? If the US actually gets this, I'm not like an Anthropic fan or anything, but it's good that they're not allowing this. Man, if the US has the ability to just domestic surveillance, for example, CCTV cameras in public areas, AI can be trained to like, oh wait, his behavior is like that way, I might be committing a crime. Like, that's just mass violation of privacy. Anthropic does back down. Another company, maybe OpenAI, Google, Grok, gets involved with them and allows this. So, because there's so much money involved, and I believe that there's a £200 million contract with Anthropic. So that's a lot of money, and what company wouldn't want that money? So it's not all Anthropic saving the day, as another company will. But also, you want the AI tools to to make final military targeting decisions without human intervention. What? Robert all cooked to also so cooked. A nuke's gonna be launched, and it's just gonna be from an AI. And because an AI could be like, you know what? If to stop climate change, kill all humans, let's just nuke them all. And without human intervention, it's gonna be possible. So what do you guys think? Do you think the US should be able to do what it wants with the AI models? And we'll see how this develops. We're definitely in scary times now. We're gonna get into the quick fire rounds now. Ubisoft insists that their Splinter Cell remake is still in development despite fresh layoffs. OpenAI plans to price smart speaker at $200 to $300. So OpenAI are looking to get into the hardware scene. Man, there was only time for a story like this to come out, but security researchers claim Persona, that the provider behind Discord's UK age verification experiment, performs 269 individual verification checks on user data, including those for espionage. So who could have guessed, man? They gave more information than disclosed. Also on Discord, they're pushing back plans to stop verifying age of their users until March after user backlash. That is something at least. There's a new Overwatch game in development, and it's a mobile game called Overwatch Rush. It's going to be a top-down hero shooter, so we'll have to see how that does. Sony's Wolverine game will be hitting PlayStation 5 in September, so that's finally getting a release date of September 15th this year. I still want to see more of this game, but I definitely feel like this is one to look out for this year. The new Samsung Galaxy 26 has an ultra new privacy display with its pixels allowing for, you see those screen protectors that have the privacy filters, but it's already built into the pixels, so if you don't want someone to see certain sections of your phone or the whole screen at all, you can have that on. Nvidia defies AI concerns with record-breaking $215 billion in revenue. AEA have announced layoffs at the studio Full Circle, who have developed Skate, saying that it's better to support the long-term future of the game, so we'll have to see how that goes. Resident Evil Requiem got a Metacritic score of 88, so they got quite a high rating. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green had switched to re-releases, topping the eShop charts. And Bungie have announced anyone found to be cheating on Marathon will be permabanned. So yeah, that's this week's gaming and tech news. Please like and subscribe and turn notifications on to keep up to date with the latest gaming and tech news. And I'll see you in the next one.